Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike. He's Jay. Halloween night. Halloween has been over for an hour and a half now.
But happy fucking belated Halloween. We didn't say it in the last video, but thank God for you and thank God for the community. We're here. We're gonna fucking rock your faces off all the time, no matter what, and Halloween keeps on a fucking rolling.
Let me ask you a question. You wanna go to the library? Hey, so
that's your chief.
Here's what's going on in the world right now. Today's Halloween, and it was weird because, as we all know, Halloween is coming out in 2018,
yeah. They're not waiting 2 years.
2018, and I guess some people thought there was going to be some Halloween news. Now, there was a tweet from Jamie Lee Curtis, which I'll gladly show you now.
Let me know.
So there was that, and it's pretty cool. There's a lot of fake news that's come out. Fake news, sad.
It's gonna be huge.
Sad.
If we didn't have fake news.
But yeah, because it's Halloween, I guess people expected it so much. There's just been like shit coming out of the woodwork today that's just not true, or at least doesn't seem like it's true. We'll get into all that, but let's start with what is true. Jamie Lee Curtis tweeted this awesome picture of her laying next to Michael Myers, like head next to head, and it's like some wounds never heal. And she did, this is speculation, but she hashtagged H4O. And I thought, oh fuck, is that going to be the name of the movie?
H4O, that would be terrible. Because look, H2O is water, it's rebirth. But H4O, what the fuck does that mean? Is that a new goddamn element on the periodic table?
No, it's 40 years. It's like H2O was 20 years, this is 40 years. That's a question right there. Would you guys like that if they named this H4O? Do you think that's a possibility? So, that's one thing, because it is 40 years after the original Halloween movie. So, that's legit, and it was just kind of her saying, this is awesome, we're doing this.
That picture was cool, though.
Question number 2, is that going to be the mask that they use? I don't think so.
There's a lot of speculation about that, and I'm with you, brother. Because, look, when you have the mask, okay, it really does sell the movie what the mask is going to look like. That mask that they used in that photo shoot with Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't bad or anything. It just it just didn't feel like the mask they were gonna why would they reveal that early on? Like, that'd be like revealing the bat suit before the movie was out.
Well, here's the thing, it didn't look like the masks that you see that are for sale. It didn't look like one of the Trick or Treat masks. So that leads you to believe, good though. Hey, it's possible that they could do this.
But I think they're gonna go their own route. I hope it's a combination of the William Shatner mask and something else, maybe the H6 mask. I love that fucking mask. But I just don't feel they're going to show that early on.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too early. I think when they do it, what they should do is do what the bigger movies do, like when Zack Snyder revealed the Batmobile, like tweet a picture of like the actual, like just a picture of him. But then again, they haven't even started shooting this yet. So I mean, who knows if that's the mask or not? But it's not a bad looking mask, that's for sure.
We're the only people, and you guys fucking sexy bitches included, that would even be this concerned about that. Because, you know, everybody else in the Batman vs Superman film were like, what does Batman look like? They were, you know, it made sense, but we're the only kind of people that'd be like, you gotta have the mask first, and then everything else. And it's like, show me little pictures of it, like speculating.
Perfect segue into what we're going to talk about next, which is huge news sites wanting to capitalize on news like it's superhero news, even when they don't actually know the lore or what they're talking about, and jumping all over it, trying to get some website hits and putting out news that's not legitimately true. Now, there's two sides to this. Let's go with the worst culprit first. There was a tweet that got put out by Zac Efron today, where it was a picture of him and Jamie Lee Curtis, and it was like, it said something like,
can't wait to get the High School Musical 4.
It said something like, I'm on Michael Myers patrol. Look guys, it's Halloween. He has a picture in his phone of him and Jamie Lee Curtis and posted it saying, I love Jamie Lee Curtis, I'm on Michael Myers patrol. Now, that'd be like, I get some speculation going, oh, maybe Zac Efron has something to do with it. But news sites took this story and ran with it. If you Google it right now, and maybe down now, but if you Google it right now, you'll probably see it. People saying, oh, because it's Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis and co. introduce the newest member to the Halloween franchise. Zac Efron will be in the new Halloween movie. We don't know what character he's going to play yet. And it's like, no one said that.
I know, that you're taking one thing that was mentioned, or one thing that was it was just a fucking picture, and you're like, oh my god, the Iranians are going to attack us. But what the fuck are you talking about? Because
with this shit.
If we were famous, and we got to meet Jamie Lee Curtis, and took a picture with her, I mean, on Halloween, if we got to tweet it, it might be like, totally gonna fucking rock out.
Lawrence Fishburne visited a pumpkin patch today, so guess what, everybody? It's official. He's been casted as the new Dr. Loomis.
What?
That would fucking maybe work. So, some sites that I like and follow and trust actually did it too, which was surprising to me. But I did think Bloody Disgusting actually threw that shit down hard too, because Screen Rant took the story and ran with it, and Screen Rant posted it. They were like, Zac Efron added to, or whatever they said. and he retweeted it. Brad Miska retweeted it, and it was like 100% untrue. Nice reporting, guys. I was like, damn.
I love the smell of journalism wars in the morning.
His dick out for this, but yeah. So that's completely untrue. I mean, I'd be fine with it. Zac Efron's a pretty good actor. Like I wouldn't be like, ooh.
Would he be the new Josh Hartnett to her side?
And the third biggest thing. Now this might end up being true. The really big one may end up being true. But here's what happened, and we've talked about this since they announced it. We speculated and said, you know, maybe John Carpenter got that Han Solo contract where he only agreed to come back if he was allowed to kill off Michael Myers. And in the way that Harrison Ford only came back if they killed off Han Solo in the new Star Wars movie, which they did. Now, we've talked about that, and we speculated on it, and we've both talked about how what may happen is that John Carpenter might come on and be involved in this one film. It's going to be a direct sequel to the original movie, and they may actually kill off Michael Myers.
No, Mike!
Because of all the talk of him being mortal and stuff like that.
No.
Now, what would make sense if they do that and they want to make one really good movie and they kill him off, that's one thing. But what we would hope for is that the box office is going to be some It-type shit, and then what they're going to do is say, that's it for that universe, but now we're going to make a sequel to Resurrection.
Yeah, we already had a video discussing about the one-shots or about, you know, whatever, and that this is a possibility of being a one-shot, John Carpenter's final vision, much like speculation a long time ago, or not really even speculation, that Tim Burton and Michael Keaton had even kind of talked maybe privately about the fact that they would have loved to seen, you know, Tim Burton's final chapter in his version of Batman, and Michael Keaton would come back and do that. That would be something that had nothing to do with everything else. But nonetheless, it just, you know.
Well, here's what happened. So what happened? The point of me saying that is that this very well may be true, but it has not been announced yet the way people are saying it's been announced. Here's what happened. There's this weird CBS show that I've watched. I can't remember the name of it. CBS. There's this weird CBS show that comes on during the daytime, and John Carpenter was a part of it, and it was just like a look into John Carpenter. And the headlines you'll read all across the internet today say, John Carpenter officially says this is the definitive last Halloween movie you'll see. Now,
no.
That's what the headlines say. But I watched the interview. If you watch the interview, they're just asking about stuff. It's an expose on how he came up with the song or whatever, and it's kind of awkward and weird, but the guy actually has John Carpenter pull out a keyboard and play the Michael Myers theme and talk about that. Now, what happens is, this is what actually happens. John Carpenter, they show this B-roll footage of him doing stuff, and the anchor, the announcer of the show, is talking over top of it. And he says, now, John Carpenter won't talk much about the new Halloween. He does insist that this is the last Halloween, and then moves on to talk about other stuff really quickly. Like, he just kind of like, this is the last Halloween, John Carpenter said so, and moves on really quickly.
This is the last journalism you're ever going to have in your life.
They don't focus on it, they don't talk about it much, and then almost in the very next clip, he asked John Carpenter, he says, like, none of that came from John Carpenter's mouth. It was the anchor.
Speculation.
And it wasn't even in front of John Carpenter, he said it. It was a later recorded backlog to B-roll footage in the interview.
Despite it all, though, he has one more score yet to write. The one to what he insists will be the last Halloween sequel. He's executive producing, and he's bringing Jamie Lee Curtis back as well.
There is a possibility that John Carpenter did say off camera to him, it's going to be the last one, and then the guy ran with it. But the guy didn't even. The show didn't even have like the Halloween knowledge or whatever, which is fine. I get it. They're a broad show to go into that. They just kind of did it as like, oh, by the way, he does insist this will be the last Halloween, and they moved right on. Yeah. You could tell they weren't like that didn't mean anything to them. And then in the very next segment, you get a look at how much knowledge they have about the Halloween franchise, because this is him actually talking to John Carpenter, and he says, give us some new news about the Halloween thing. And John's like, I'm not going to tell you anything. And he's like, oh, come on, give us something. No. And John goes, well, it picks up after the first movie. It pretends the other sequels didn't happen. And the dude literally responds with, are you serious?
I know, so that immediately tells you he didn't know a goddamn thing about what he was talking about.
They announced that weeks ago.
That'd be like if I was, like, Mike and I don't know anything about Pokemon or fucking shit like that. So if they're going to make another, I don't know if they made a live action Pokemon movie, but if they did, Mike and I got to interview the director, and he was like, and we were like, so what's the film about? He's like, well, we catch creatures in a magic ball. I'm like, you catch creatures in a magic ball?
Can you give us a little sneak?
No, I'm not going to give you anything.
Just a little something?
It's pretending the other sequels didn't happen.
Oh, really?
It's just like, yeah, that's obvious.
I don't blame people. Like, they read the headline and then they run with it because you assume you can trust it because it comes from a trustworthy source. And again, I want to throw this back out there. We're not saying that that's not the truth.
It's possible.
It's very possible that this is the last Halloween. It's even possible that Carpenter said that to him off camera. But the fact of the matter is, in that interview, there's two things. A, John Carpenter never says this is going to be the last Halloween. And B, the guy clearly showed that the news about this picking up after the first movie came out weeks ago.
Yeah, so he wasn't even up to date on anything.
The guy clearly shows that he's not really up to date with what's going on. So that's a flag right there.
Imagine this: if you're John Carpenter and you're sitting down with an interview with somebody, and they don't have the fucking notes about anything going on current about anything, and you're like, did you even watch the fucking movies? He's like, yeah, it's about a guy that runs around with a clown mask, right? And it's like, haha, it's over. I'm gonna show you some piano. Fuck you.
I honestly don't even hold it against them because, like I said, they're a broad show. They do a different person every week. They're not a horror show or anything like that. Like, I get that.
Well, you can just do your research,
The problem is
though.
people taking that and making their headline, Carpenter confirms. You know, it's just not what happened. Here's the other side of that. Even if Carpenter did tell the guy off camera, this is going to be the last Halloween, the guy, Carpenter could have said, this is going to be my last Halloween.
That's what I think.
Which is very possible.
Yeah.
Could have been any of that shit. And B, John Carpenter doesn't, as far as I know, hold any of the rights to Halloween. Like, it's owned by Blumhouse, it's owned by Trancas, and it's owned by the Akkads. Now, again, there is the possibility that we don't know about a backdoor deal that they signed off with John Carpenter in writing and said, we won't ever make another one if you'll come on for this one. That's possible. I hope it's not true.
It's not true.
If the movie makes a lot of fucking money and Blumhouse wants to make Halloween 9 instead of taking up from this, and they do kill Michael, but they still want to make Halloween 9,
I'd be fine with that.
They can do that.
I'd be fine with that. That franchise is... You can't kill Michael. You got to kill Ethan.
Basically, what's happening is we just wanted to put this video out there to set the record straight, at least for what we know what's going on. Halloween brought us a lot of fake-ass Halloween news. And actually, I'm surprised that there wasn't a bit of big news today.
Well,
it is Halloween.
It's weird that, like, you know, what I was kind of like, what the fuck? How many people drank Kai's Kool-Aid? Why were so many people running with what one person said and then reposting it everywhere and acting like, you know, without even looking a little bit deeper?
Just
Mike and I, maybe we're cynics, you know, and that's possible.
I was like, no, that's what I said when I saw it. I was like, no, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, and I was like,
I gotta see it disperse from his fucking mouth.
But you gotta take everything with a grain of salt. I mean, especially when they do interviews like that. Especially if the guy that was interviewing him didn't even know anything about Michael Myers and Halloween.
Yeah.
The guy's just, you know, at that point he's trying to cash a paycheck.
It's just like with the Zac Efron thing. People ran with that and acted like it was fact. It's crazy. But maybe it's because they think it's a smaller title. It's a slow news day. We need to get a hit. Let's take it and run with it. Who knows? But this hitting superheroes here. So basically today, Halloween brought us a lot of fake Halloween news. Could turn out to be real later, but at least for today, it's fake. It's not confirmed. We just wanted to clear the air, at least from what we know. What do you guys think about all this?
I feel like if you got an apple for fucking, you know, you trick-or-treat it and it had a razor blade in that fucking bitch. Check them fucking apples. Don't trust people.
What, you ain't got no paydays? Give me some beefaroni.
Where's your fucking almond joys?
Comment down below. Let us know what your all's thoughts are. We love your fucking faces. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some goddamn wham up in your shit.
Oh my god. This ain't gonna be no fake news. None. Ever. We gonna give you that straight hard dick.
Happy Halloween.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched a movie.